Dalton Parsons. This is fun, man. I'm excited about it.
For sure.
This is your idea, wasn't it? Or was it mine?
This is your idea.
This is my idea. Good.
I don't know. Yeah,
well, I'm glad it worked out.
you.
Have you ever been on camera or recorded something before?
Minus doing like plays for camps and stuff. No, not really.
Okay. This is something that you are interested in doing more of, or are you camera shy? What do you think?
I guess I'm not too camera shy because I don't actually there's nobody else. There's no audience, I guess you can say, that can actually judge me until after the fact.
Okay.
So you don't really have to worry about, messing up. Because it's not like anyone's going to laugh at you right then and there.
That's true. And you can always edit out, right?
Yeah. The power of Photoshop.
There you go. How long have you guys been coming to Clover Hill? Do you know this?
I mean, I came here for preschool.
Okay.
So ever since, I've been here for as long as I can remember.
Yeah. Like your earliest. Okay. Do you remember the first time that you remember something? What's your first memory, as a child?
Oh, probably when we used to have Olympians.
Okay.
Which was with. Oh, I forgot their names.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
That's okay. What's Olympians?
It was kind of like our Sunday school, but it was this really nice curriculum where we would have games, and it was kind of all about running the race for God, and if you memorize certain verses and did certain things, then you would get a medal at the end.
Oh, okay.
It was really cool. Oh, I think her name was I can't remember her name.
How old are you?
6 or 7.
Wait, is this your first memory at Clover Hill or first memory ever? I'm talking about first memory ever, in your life. Yeah.
Ooh.
How young can you remember your life? You know what I mean? Because at this point, I'm 27 now. I don't remember.
Yeah, totally.
Right? I don't remember younger than 4. You know what I mean? You're a little closer to younger, right?
Yeah, I mean, I can't really remember anything from church. All I can remember, because I think my dad used to take me to his church for a little bit. I don't know.
Okay.
Because I remember going to his church, which was a Pentecostal church. It was pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Okay, the earliest one I can remember, because my mom still has this picture in her office, is they had us sit in a chair, and then they had one of those Polaroid cameras where you take the picture and then you would do that, and then they put it in a little thing, and then I took it home, and Mom's just had it up in her office ever since. Nice.
Okay, so I take it back. I have an early memory. I don't know if it's a memory or if I've just heard about it so much that I think I remember it now.
Yeah.
But I was 2 or 3, and
I don't know if
I was a chubby kid, right?
Okay.
Very chubby. So much so that my ankles couldn't support me. So I had to wear orthopedic shoes.
Interesting.
Right? When I was a toddler. So my mom always told me this story, and I feel like I remember it, but I don't. But there's pictures everywhere of it. And it was, so I was wearing my shoes, no shirt, little dark baby, and my little shorts. And my parents had got us a pool. And she said, take your shoes off before you go in the pool. And obviously me, in my white shoes, my white $100 orthopedic toddler shoes, I go and I stomp in the water with my shoes on. And my mom was mad at me. That's the earliest memory that I think I have, but again, I don't even know if I remember that or if I just have heard about it so much.
Question.
Okay.
If they're already white and chlorine just makes things whiter, how did they get ruined?
Well, they're not supposed to get wet, I think is the problem, right? I think it's soaked and then, take a pair of shoes that you wear every day and then, go stomp around in a pool. And it's like a little backyard pool,
little kiddie
a foot and a half
pools.
deep,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
If that. And so, a shoe that you wear all the time and then get it wet, and what happens? It stinks really bad, right?
Well, not only that, wouldn't it shrink?
It's very possible. Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't really know. I don't really know the physics of it, but
Yeah.
it's certainly not good for the shoes to get all kinds of
Definitely.
wet, right?
Especially when it's like medical grade stuff you don't want to.
Yeah.
No, you just don't.
Yeah, man. Well, good. Well, I'm glad to be doing this with you, and we're calling this Vice Versa. Did we agree on that?
Yeah.
Vice Versa, the podcast. And
Watch this go up and we get immediately taken down because somebody else has that name. I swear.
We're gonna go viral. That's what we're gonna do.
Yes, definitely.
Good. Okay, so
Totally.
all right, I have a story for you.
Alrighty
Okay,
then.
check this out. I feel like you'll appreciate it. How old are you?
I'm 12.
12. Perfect.
12.
Okay. All right. There's a 12-year-old North Carolina boy
Okay.
over the pandemic and all this stuff. Decided to take advantage of it. So he took a few extra classes. This
And
young
what?
man, this is a very recent story. I think it's like April 29th this came out. So yesterday. Okay, took a few extra classes, and now he is preparing to graduate high school and college in the same week. 12 years old. Crazy, right?
What?
So Wimmer is his last name. I didn't write down his first name. Wimmer.
Okay.
He has a 4.0 GPA in college
What?
and a 5.45 GPA in high school.
What?
Isn't that crazy? 12
How do
years
you?
old.
What? But you're 12. How do what?
Yeah. So he under, what's the word? He wanted to be humble about it, right? So he said, "I'm a sponge, and I retain knowledge well." But I feel like you have to be some kind of genius,
You have to. You have to be like a baby Einstein.
like a prodigy at something, right? Like 12 years old.
5.0. Did you say 5.0 GPA?
5.45 in high school. I didn't even know that was possible. I knew you could go like above 4. I didn't know you could go above 5. I don't know that I've heard of that.
What even is the scale then? How do they?
Well, you take like a what are they called? Starts with an A. There are extra classes that you can take like on top of your load, like your regular load, and then you can like get it. So if you get all A's and then you take those classes, then you get higher than a 4.0.
So what class?
Not
How
electives.
can?
What's the word?
I don't know. But how can you take those classes at only 12?
I don't know. I don't know how he did it. I mean, he's got to be some kind of genius. Maybe he was doing.
Did he lie about his age?
It's possible. No, because he's got to graduate, right? So like, if he's taking extra classes, I mean, maybe it's possible. Like,
well,
he
what
was in
did
all
he?
kinds of online classes.
Well, yeah, but what did he? I wonder what he went into.
Speaking of online, have you? You're in person, right?
Yeah.
How long have you been in person?
Since like the beginning of this school year.
Oh, really?
Actually, yeah, and then there were a couple weeks where we had to go virtual,
Okay.
like here and there, but now we haven't had to go virtual in a while.
Well, that's good.
I mean, like months.
How did you
too.
like when you were doing the virtual?
I mean, virtual, it was okay, but talk about rocky internet connection when everyone in Chesterfield County logs on.
Is that true?
I mean, yeah, it was really bad. We had a really rough time the first couple of days. I mean, like, what I'm about to say, probably like no one's gonna understand, but I'm gonna say it anyways.
I'm ready for it.
See, like when you have an internet provider, they've got all these towers and stuff like that. But when it comes down to like the actual thing, they have these big servers that just kind of compute data and stuff. And something that you don't know that I know about. Well, actually, no, a lot of people know about this, but nobody. One of those things that nobody really looks up is that your internet provider, they actually log like everything you do on the internet in servers.
Danger.
So yeah, and what they do on purpose too is they will they say you have like this speed connection, but they purposely bog it down to get you to get like their gig speed connection.
Yeah. Well, and they want you to pay more.
And they want more for the same speed.
Yeah. I know. I think so. When we have Comcast Xfinity Wi-Fi at home. And so I think when we signed up, they told us we would get, and it's how they trick you, right? They say up to like 200 megabits per second, right?
Okay.
I don't know when I've ever gotten 200 megabits per second, right? Like it's always around 100, 150.
We have Fios and we have their gig speed connection.
So is that really good?
It is, and it's there's days that it works really well and other days that
Sure.
Yeah, but another thing is, too, that I actually really didn't know until recently, is that people out there, you need to get your own router. Do not use the ones that they send.
It's a scam.
That they send to you, because not only, one, it's an extra cost because they say you rent them, and two, you can actually get, like, you might have to spend, like, you can spend like $200. I know that sounds like a lot, but if you get like one of those that's just your own, 9 times out of 10, the hardware in it is better than what that company is giving you, which means, with a lot of these new modems and stuff that you can get for yourself, they have softwares where you can regulate how much bandwidth and how much internet each device gives, so you can kind of say what actually needs it and what doesn't.
Okay.
But I mean, you might have to spend like $200, but if you think about it, every time you get that bill, and it's like, I don't know, $15, $20, $25 for renting their piece of equipment, that adds up. That really does. So if you go and just spend like, I don't know, $150, $100, I don't know how much these things cost, but if you just spend that much money right then and there, that's a payment that doesn't recur anymore. So, like, in a sense, that's actually a better deal.
Yeah.
But you have to know which one to get. And yeah, there's definitely a lot out there to choose from and stuff.
There certainly are. There's a lot of different providers and everything else that you can choose. Sometimes it's hard to pick and choose. All right, what you got? You got a story for me?
I've got a couple. I don't know which one to start with. I guess I'll tell you about this one. All right, so this man in New Mexico, right? He goes to the grocery store. You know, normal day, you're gonna go to the grocery store. You know, all right. And then, you know, this is in Las Cruz, California. No, New Mexico. I'm sorry, Las Cruz, New Mexico. All right, so he gets his stuff, and this is on Sunday afternoon. He goes back to his car, and there's just thousands of bees in his backseat. He left the grocery store, placed his stuff in his vehicle, and he had left his windows open while food shopping, officials say. So,
how long was he in the store for?
It doesn't say, you know.
Thousands of bees.
Like
just,
thousands in his car. And it wasn't until he started to drive off that he noticed the thousands of bees.
He didn't even notice when he got in?
He didn't even notice when he got in. Like, I mean, if you've ever been next to a super big hive, which I haven't, but I went through this phase where I watched, like, these people, and all they would do is take out these crazy big beehives, and, like, they would put the microphone next to the wall if they were in the wall, and you would just hear the bzzz and the chewing of them chewing away at the wood. I don't even know. This man must be, like, deaf. Anyways, and it doesn't say how far he got before he noticed, but there was like thousands of bees just like flying all around. And
this man got to the car, put the groceries in the car.
Yes.
Got in his car.
Didn't know there were like thousands.
Started driving.
Then he's like,
that guy's crazy. You have to be oblivious. He should not be driving. You know.
I don't know. So then they called the fire department, and they had to block off the surrounding area from nearby shoppers from the bees. And then this firefighter's name is Jesse Johnson, hero of the day. He used his experience. Luckily, he was a beekeeper, actually.
Oh, wow.
Which he does in his spare time to safely, which is what he did. So the bee swarm that invaded the car safely relocated by off-duty firefighter Johnson, who was off duty at the time, arrived at the scene with everything needed to move the bees: a hive kit, lemongrass oil.
They must like it.
Gloves, the proper attire. He soon relocated in a more suitable location, officials said. The fire department estimated that there were 15,000 bees removed from that car and taken to Johnson his property as an effort, an effort that took nearly 2 hours.
That's wild.
No major injuries were reported, but a security guard was stung, and a possible few patrons may have had close encounters. Officials say that the fire department does not regularly remove swarms of bees, but made an exception in this case due to the potential hazard in a high traffic area.
Oh, okay.
So,
okay.
like, if you have, like, a bee swarm at your, like, house, if you call
right.
911, they're just going to be like, nah.
Right.
Unless you're like, okay.
But put all the bees in your car and drive to a highway. Then they'll come and take care of it.
Then be like, okay, I'm in the middle on I-95, right? And so I got my groceries, and now I'm in the middle of I-95, and I just noticed there's like thousands of bees in my car. Can y'all help?
How does he not notice? That's crazy. Did it say how old the guy was?
It doesn't. They didn't even release his name.
Okay, well, yeah, because he doesn't want to be embarrassed. Look, there's got to be something up with that guy. That's why they didn't say who it was. You know, there's more to that story.
There's got to be more than what CBS is telling us.
Have you ever been stung by a bee?
I've been swarmed by yellow jackets before.
You have? Oh, my gosh.
3 of them, but that was young and
They stung you?
Yeah, and they also got my grandma, too. My grandma,
wow.
we were moving sticks, and, like, it was bad. And then one time, I was in kindergarten, right? And there was this bee that landed on my shoulder. And this was when I was, like, petrified of those things.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely petrified. So it's, like, on my shoulder, and I'm like, and I do that, and it just lets it rip on me. And I'm just like, and I just start crying instantaneously. And my ear, like, swelled up. It wasn't.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was terrible. So, yeah. And... We're going to have to do more research into that story because I feel like we're missing something there. And one more thing.
Yep.
When I was in West Virginia, this was when I was like 8. This was when Granddad was still around. And so what happened was this wasp had landed on my head. I didn't know that. I just thought it was some piece of debris. So I go back up to flick it off. Mm-hmm. And the dude doesn't even sting me. He bites me. Literally bit me because, you know, they have those pinchers.
Yeah.
He used those. And, I mean, that hurt.
I bet it did.
But I bet that wouldn't have been as bad as getting stung by one of those things.
That's tough. Did you hear about what are the killer hornets? They were coming over?
Yeah, they're coming over and murdering all our bees. Yeah. I mean, I think they're like one of the reasons why bees are becoming extinct.
They were a story for like a week, and then they weren't anymore. That was like when COVID first started. Yeah. Back in the day now.
But then again, somebody brought it up. I didn't realize this, but apparently a story like that comes around almost every year.
Right. There's always something crazy happening.
Know. Yeah.
Okay, all right, here we go. You ready for a new one? This is a Virginia story.
Oh boy.
Okay. A pair of students at a Virginia university struck up a conversation on the school bus one day, right?
Oh my.
Both visibly Asian. I can say this because my wife is Asian, right?
Yeah, all right.
You could tell. By looking at them, you could tell.
All right.
And so they were talking to each other, talking like, oh, yeah, I'm from China, like all this stuff. You know, I'm from China, too. That's really cool.
Boy.
Right?
I have an idea where this is going.
All right, so check this out. These 2 young ladies discovered that they had been adopted from the same orphanage in a city in China 15 years earlier.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
That's interesting.
They started showing each other photos of like, you know, where they were from and all this. And like they're discovering each other in each other's photos.
Oh my.
Right? Like, so like I'm showing you and I'm seeing me in your photos of like back home. And then like I see the house is kind of similar and like the orphanage looks a lot similar. And so they're from the same, or like, what are the odds, you know, that you're in a high school in Virginia in the United States.
All the way in the U.S. of A.
In the same high school, and you're from the same orphanage
on
in China.
The same bus,
on
too.
On the same bus. That's wild, right?
That's I don't know.
What are the odds?
How do you even calculate the odds of that?
I don't know that you can, right? There's just so many places you could end up. So many, I mean, who knows how many buses that school has? Like that picks up and drops kids off, you know? Like it was crazy. But they
imagine their next door neighbors. Just imagine.
I don't know. Yeah, right. Yeah, I feel like if you discover that, then you have to be best friends for the rest of your life.
Yes, definitely.
Right? Like at that point.
At that point, you're like, you would have to.
You might as well just like move in with each other after high school and like just do your life together.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
you've literally, it's like almost having like a long lost sister.
Right, exactly. Like you defied all the odds. And now you're in the same high school in the same city.
Same bus.
Like you're friends forever at that point, you know?
Yeah, that's interesting.
The universe has spoken.
Yes.
But that's a cool story.
Yeah, that's definitely really cool. All
right, you got one more for us?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to do this one for my grandma.
Here we go.
She really
Shout out
likes
Grandma.
cardinals. So.
She likes cardinals?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. So does my...
She really likes all birds, actually.
Yeah, my wife's dad's mom, so her grandma, right?
Mm-hmm.
She loved cardinals. She passed recently, or a few years ago.
So sorry for your loss.
Oh, thank you, man. She's a wonderful lady. We named Arya. Her middle name is after her. She's a great lady, great family, and but she loved cardinals, loved them. So that's cool.
Yeah.
All right. So what you got? What about cardinals?
All right. So there's been a rare yellow cardinal in Illinois. Apparently, this is like a 1 in a million chance to see, and this lady, she's like, her husband kept telling her that it was a cardinal, and she's like, "There's no such thing." and that's when the lady Googled it and found out how rare it actually was, and a biological science professor, Geoffrey Hill from Auburn University, who I can't pronounce, who specializes in studying feathered pigmentation, told CBS News he received photos of the yellow cardinal from Illinois and confirmed that it is a male cardinal with rare yellow pigmentation.
Wow.
And then Hill was asked to verify the bird by the Chicago Tribune, which reported on the recurring spectacle in Rushville earlier this week. Hill told... So, by the looks of this, one hasn't made the news since 2018, and this is like March of this year. So, and that wasn't even the first yellow cardinal, but that was the one that got, national and even international press.
Wow.
So that's kind of, the yellow cardinal back in 2018 started the trend.
So there's not that many of them.
Yeah, it's like I guess it's like a rare genetic thing.
Okay.
On these birds more often. Hill expects that it's less than a 1 in a million chance to actually spot one.
No kidding.
So, yeah. So, its nickname is a 1 in a million bird.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Wow.
But actually, it's probably even rarer than 1 in a million.
Okay.
There are only about 10 to 12 yellow cardinals in the eastern U.S. alone that we know of.
How many?
Eastern U.S. and in eastern 12.
12,
and in eastern Canada, in any given year, apparently there's about 50 million or more cardinals in that area. That's a lot of cardinals.
50 million cardinals and only 12 yellow ones?
12 yellow ones here. So, yellow cardinals have been spotted in several states, including Alabama, Florida, Ohio, and Pennsylvania.
Have you ever seen a woodpecker before?
I hear them all the time, but I never see them.
You never see them? Oh, man.
No. Sad.
Yeah, they're kind of cool. They do a lot of damage to like your house and stuff, but if you see them like on a tree, it sounds like I don't know, it's like an impact drill, right? Yeah, but like crazy fast. Like, cause sometimes it's hard to, if you never heard them before, it's hard to tell what it is, when you first hear it. But then you see the hole in your house.
You're like, oh, okay.
Like, I guess it was a woodpecker. But that's cool. Well, good, man. All right.
All right,
what you got?
One more little thing.
One more. Okay, here we go.
Actually, it's an actual genetic mutation, and there are actually yellow, orange, and red pigments produced by plants and some insects that are then eaten by animals like cardinals. So what it sounds like to me is that depending on what the cardinal's diet is when it's young, that's kind of what determines what pigment its feathers are going to be, which is actually really cool.
Interesting.
So technically,
you are what you eat.
Not only that, but if I'm correct, then technically, you could, if you had like baby cardinals and you fed them yellow things, you could technically make yellow cardinals? Question mark? Exclamation point.
I guess that, I don't know. That sounds like the logic would track if their diet affects what they look like, then
But yeah, I guess that's about it. That's really cool.
So you're saying if I eat enough pizza, then I'm gonna look like pizza?
No,
Is that what you're saying?
but what will happen is if you eat like enough carrots or anything with like orange or red, if you eat enough of it, your skin will eventually turn that color.
Really?
And here's why: because when you eat, and then when your small intestine absorbs that nutrients, it also absorbs the colors. So like if you keep feeding yourself carrots and it's getting like whatever that is that makes the carrot orange, your skin will start to turn orange because those cells, that's what they absorb.
You start looking like President Trump after a while?
I guess you could say that, except he's been impeached twice.
That is true. That he has. Good. All right. Well, on that note, man, thank you for doing this with me.
You're welcome.
I'm glad you agreed
Thank
to do it.
you for getting the idea.
Oh yeah, man, it's a lot of fun. We'll do it again.
Definitely.
Sound good? All right,
Yeah.
thanks, bud.